Hello. Happy Sunday. It's the 20th of March, I think. We are having beautiful weather here in New Jersey. I think spring has arrived. So I am cleaning out all these lingering projects that have just been sitting around my craft room because I am ready, and I don't mean I am ready, to get my craft studio together. So about going on almost 2 years now, I had a card kit that I was going to do with my niece and her friends. And I had this card prepared because I needed something a little more simple. They were probably very young teens, maybe even not teens yet. They may have been a tween. So this was one I found on Pinterest, and I said, oh, this would be easy. So this is one I'm kind of finishing up in my craft stash right now, and very, very simple. I cut this out of, at the time, I wasn't introduced to the extra heavyweight cardstock from Hobby Lobby, so I am using just some regular white cardstock. This is just a regular quarter panel that is a 4 3/8 and 5 and ooh, no, it's 4 1/8 and 5 3/8. You're basically just taking an eighth of an inch off, just so you get a little bit of a reveal. This was the Soft Sky, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get myself lit up, and yeah, lots of shadows. We're gonna have to work on this. So this was just some Soft Sky cardstock from Stampin' Up. Just a light blue to go with, you know, the clouds that I'm doing on there. And this was the Mossy Meadow. Again, you could just use a very light blue that you have that kind of matches an ink that you can use for a sky, and then any green, really. I'm doing this with the Mossy Meadow, and what you're doing is you want it to kind of match to the color of ink that you're going to use for the trees. Nothing overly exciting. I shouldn't say exciting. That's a bad word, is it? Nothing like over difficult. Now, what I do have is this cloud. I'll give you a close-up. Oh, wait, maybe this one would be better without this stuff in there. Gives you this imprint. And it does give you like almost like a texture in the sky. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bunch of like little dot kind of things. So this is how you get it from Impression Obsessions. A friend of mine had this and I liked it. And she surprised me by giving it to me. And they come like this, unmounted. They're the red rubber. They do sell a block to put this on. But truthfully to me, I have one of these self-healing mats. I just run some glue runner over it arbitrarily and stick it down. You might wonder, I have a piece of foam under here for when I need to stamp with polymer, and I keep a piece of just junk paper under there. So I'm using the Soft Sky Stampin' Up stamp pad and just very liberally putting ink on there. And I just put the glue under so it kind of doesn't move when I go. It's moving a little bit when I'm putting the ink on, but I just want to do my background. Doesn't have to, this particular one doesn't matter. It's not straight, I don't care. I just use my junk paper, and you can see on this side of where I used it for some of the stuff. Just so I'm not getting ink on myself. And I'm going to use my tweezers so I don't mess up the print. I will clean this off with a baby wipe. And I think this is just called Sky or Clouds. Nothing real hard if you're looking for this stamp to buy. But I like this because it just gives the hint of the sky. Cleans up very, very simply. And I'll put that back and put that away. for your glue, you literally just rub it off of here. I don't really have to use the baby wipe, but I will. Now I think I made it more difficult, but I want to dry it off anyway. Throw that out. Yep, just comes right off. This is usually it's more simple. I think me doing the other just made it take off. There it is. It's all off. So I use this technique for anything really. Yeah. Anytime I need to just tack something down for a minute. There you go. So now I have my sky, and there's no up, there's no down, because you know, clouds really have no direction, do they? I mean, they do, but they don't. So they kind of blends in, don't it? Whatever. Doesn't really matter, does it? So I am using the Lovely as a Tree from Stampin' Up, and that is the large tree. And sadly, after all of these years, they have canceled this stamp. I know I'm odd. I kind of stamp at a sideways angle. I try to give it one really tall tree for first generation. Leave it on there so it pulls the ink out of your stamp. I do a second generation to give it a lighter tree, and you just fill up the page. How simple is that? I think I'm going to do this one off the page, fill in another one, and that's all. Six stamps and that's done. So we'll put this back, put our soft sky back, and right now I'm into baby wipes. I do have my chamois, but it's kind of all dried out. I need to soak it again. And for me, I find it needs a little bit of time, the chamois, to kind of really get themselves back. So clean off that's done. So then the next thing is I'm using some Memento ink. And this was an old celebration from Stampin' Up. It's called Sky is the Limit, and I'm using the tree. This was a wood block series they did. I really liked the airplane out of this, and I really liked the script on that Happy Birthday. It was a celebration for, you could use it for Valentine's Day. Truthfully, I'm a horrible wife, you know. I don't do Valentine cards. My husband's deprived. Let me turn this there so you can somewhat see it. Well, you know, this paper is one I've loved for a long time. Maybe it's time for a new one. There's glue on this one. And, so this, just some Memento ink, just something black. You're going to think that it's not really inked up because there's a lot of, it's supposed to look distressed. But it's good. Just put it at an angle and stamp them up. Again, like I said, I leave this on there for a little while to pull the ink, the paper pull the ink out. And there it is. So he's supposed to look, like I said, a little distressed. And so now my card is pretty well on its way to being done. So that is done. I'll clean that up in a minute. And then just tear that to the front. I'm going to use just some ATG to get that on there. Let's get this back in its spot. Yeah, I know. I could stand a new piece, but it's called scrap for a reason. I just center that. Now this one I did cut. Took 1/8 of an inch off for the blue, 1/8 of an inch off. This is an A2 size card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so this green was cut at 4 and 5 1/4, and I took 1/2 inch off of the white. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, I believe. Again, I prepared these so long ago. Yeah, 3 3/4 by 5 is the white. so the next is I literally took a scrap strip of white. I do keep some of these scraps in my bin. And I'm using the Happy Birthday that came in this old Stampin' Up stamp called Guy Greetings. I've kept this around because I love the fonts in these. I didn't really use the graphics, but I love the different. I've used the Happy Father's Day. I've used the Happy Birthday a lot. The congratulations. Some of these husband, dad. Again, I am like the lamest wife. So all you gotta do is fishtail these to whatever length you want. Kind of didn't want it this long, so I am gonna be just kind of centering it up and cutting some fishtails. And, you know, I actually thought about just doing one and putting it off to the side. And I'm thinking I may do that. Again, I'm doing these for a giveaway for my retail business. If I was going to personally use this, probably I'd had another layer behind the Happy Birthday, so it had some distinction between it. But the name of my game is how fast can I get them out of here? Because again, I told you, this one I had it like, you know, like wavy, so there was a little bit of a gap in there, but now it flattened out, so whatever. And I'm really not doing the sentiments inside because I don't know how the people that are receiving these are going to want to, what they're going to want to say on it. And truthfully for me, you know, I do want them to use it because I am putting my logo on the back, and, you know, the more people that card gets in the hands of, the more that my name's getting around. So for me personally, like I said, I'm going to let them write whatever they want inside. So my fishtail isn't necessarily perfect, but you're not really going to see it. So I wound up making my original concept card, as I call it. I always do one just as a trial run, and then 4 more, because like I said, I was going up to see my niece and doing these with one of her friends, so I figured they could make 2 when I was up there. So I'll finish these off camera, and again, I found these on Pinterest. I apologize, I don't know whose design it was. It was there at the time that this celebration stamp set came out, and I don't know whose it was, but I thank them for this quick and simple design. So this is one, if you're looking for something fast, I did one for my father with Happy Father's Day on it. It's a very masculine card that you could use even thank you. Doesn't have to be Stampin' Up. That just happened to be what I had. I think this is a good idea for pretty much anybody on your list. So thanks for watching. I have more videos coming up. I'm going to be on a marathon day today cleaning out. So hope you tune in. Bye.